I saw in my education line also, I have done MBA, I have done dual MBA, I have animation diploma, nutrition diploma, yoga. But everything boils down to if you're not a better person, you can't do anything in your life.
Right.
I understood that. In corporate also, when I was being impatient, then spirituality came into the picture, that how can I be patient with meditation, with self awareness. So I think everybody in corporate or not being in corporate, in any field, I think spirituality is the need of essential thing, like food is essential. I feel the spirituality and dharma, which is your karma.
Right.
Dharma is not religion basically. Dharma is basically your karma, how you are living a perfect lifestyle, balanced lifestyle, which actually makes you a better person and makes you to thrive things in your life.
Shamata.
Shamata.
Thank you for coming. And the word Shamata, which we used, is from an Upanishad, which means may peace and tranquility be with you. Though tranquility sounds similar to the peace, it is about all your well being, physical, mental, and metaphysical being. This is word which picked up from Upanishad and given to us by our Gurudev. Thank you for coming, and it's a pleasure for us to host you today in Dharma Speaks, our podcast.
Thank you so much.
So, Priyanka, before we go further into the details of our discussion, can you please tell us your background? Like, how did you start your career and studies? But more importantly, how did this Sanatana Dharma comes into your life?
So I'll start with my childhood only. So when I was born, so my mother, told me that I used to not sleep until she recited Hanuman Chalisa to me. So you can know that it was, imbibed like a seed into me since my birth. And then my father and mother have always been the people. They have not forced me to do anything. So when you force somebody, so you rebel against it. But when you're not forced, your interest develops slowly, that what is it, why she's doing such rituals inside the house. So my grandmother also was very बहुत अच्छे से explain करती थी. She used to be like कि हाँ ये क्यों कर रहे हैं and why we are doing this. So I've always been curious कि क्यों हो रहा है. So in childhood, I used to be like very, superstitious, I would say. Not spiritual. There's a thin line between being superstition and spiritual. So I used to fear God basically. कि अगर नहीं किया, आज पूजा नहीं किया मैंने सुबह उठ के, तो मतलब एग्जाम में कुछ बुरा हो जाएगा एंड कुछ हो जाएगा सपोज. So there was this time my mother used to say तेको टेम्पल नहीं लेके जाऊंगी because you start crying कि मैंने ढंग से पूजा नहीं किया and God will get angry, and I used to do that. Then slowly when I grew up, then my husband comes into the picture. So he literally explained me, we were friends first, so he used to give logical explanations to me. Then I used to be like ki, हाँ, there has to be some scientific logics behind what we used to do. So it was basically my curiosity to know more about what we are doing in our daily life. So it was more logic driven कि हाँ this is actually repairing my mindset, this is actually making me a better person. Then I adapted some certain habits, like सुबह उठ के when you do darshan of your hateli and chant a mantra. So that was actually the sense of being grounded inside me. So those are the practices I imbibed and followed. So मतलब वो जो जब चेंज देखा, देन मेरा इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हुआ. जब आप एक चेंज देखते हो ना अपने अंदर, तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हो जाता है. सो ऑटोमेटिकली इट वाज slowly the journey was starting. And then I saw in my education line also, I have done MBA, I have done dual MBA, I have animation diploma, nutrition diploma, yoga. But everything boils down to if you're not a better person, you can't do anything in your life.
Right.
I understood that. In corporate also, when I was being impatient, then spirituality came into the picture, that how can I be patient with meditation, discipline, with self-awareness. So I think everybody, in corporate or not being in corporate, in any field, I think spirituality is the need of essential thing, like food is essential. I feel the spirituality and dharma, which is your karma.
Right.
Dharma is not religion basically. Dharma is basically your karma, how you are living a perfect lifestyle, balanced lifestyle, which actually makes you a better person and makes you to thrive things in your life, be it in a corporate world. So you know how, successful people have a discipline in their life. And that is how spirituality works. Yama niyama, that you have to bring discipline, soch, time pe nahao, time pe utho, time pe khao. So this is a disciplined way of living. So I would term that I've become more spiritual
Okay.
with time, and that is how I see that, it is making me a better person. So it is pulling me, towards it more.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So when dharma is inculcated into your daily life, it makes you a better person. And when you are a better person, obviously you will deliver things which are better to the society. I think that's a great way to start the podcast. So coming back to you, when you said you have learnt dharma and spiritual a lot about it. So I see a lot of young generation like you thinking it's only rituals, right? When you saw in your childhood also you saw that. But how do people differentiate between these two? Are there like strict rituals people should stick on to that and only expect a transaction from it, or is there beyond something from it?
Okay. So see, there are two types of, if we bifurcate ना, हम एक उसको कर्म को हम bifurcate करते हैं. एक होता है निष्फल कर्म, जो आपने बोला कि if you are getting something in return. So if we bifurcate according to Bhagavad Gita also, so there एक होता है विकर्म, ठीक है, एक दुष्कर्म होता है, एक होता है निष्कर्म, एक होता है सकर्म, ठीक है. तो दुष्कर्म हो गया कि आप बुरे कर्म कर रहे हो, एंड दैट विल बी अ प्रारब्ध ऑफ योर नेक्स्ट बर्थ. एक होता है निष्कर्म कि आप बिना निस्वार्थ भाव के आप सेवा कर रहे हो. एक होता है सकर्म जिसमें आपने बोला कि कुछ मिलेगा, हम लोग भगवान की पूजा करें, भगवान मुझे पास करा दो या गेट समथिंग फॉर स्टूडेंट्स एंड मेरी प्रमोशन दिला दो एंड आई विल डू योर दिस पूजा एंड दैट पूजा. So I would say there is nothing harm in it.
Okay.
When you are asking something in return, which you should not ask. We always say कि deeds always should be निष्कर्म, मतलब निष्फल भाव से ही करना चाहिए. But even if you are आप भोगी हो materialistic world के, so how can you be detached to that? अगर आपको भोगना है मटेरियलिस्टिक वर्ल्ड में, सो यू वुड वांट टू गेट समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट. यू वुड वांट दैट कि हाँ कुछ तो अच्छा, मुझे सेंस ऑफ सेटिस्फैक्शन भी अगर आपको मिल रहा है ना, तो दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट निष्कर्म.
करेक्ट.
बिकॉज यू आर गेटिंग हैप्पी, है ना, कुछ तो मिल रहा है आपको. सो मिलना लेना गलत नहीं है until unless you're not hurting anybody. पॉइंट ये होता है कि इफ़ यू आर हर्टिंग समवन देन इट इज़ अ बैड कर्म. इफ़ यू नॉट हर्टिंग समवन, you are thriving, you're doing your own कर्म, then it can be done. कि आप कुछ मांग रहे हो या यू आर मैनिफेस्टिंग समथिंग, यू आर आस्किंग यूनिवर्स. जैसे आजकल मैनिफेस्टेशन बहुत चल रहा है
I know.
कि हाँ शक्ति क्रिया बोलते हैं हम उसको, अगर हम हिंदी उसको उसमें डालें तो. So when manifestation is worked, so we say na ki we are saying positive affirmation to get something. And when coming to the logic ki rituals, when we come to rituals ki I'll do this and I'll get that. So rituals are designed basically on your tattva. I will bifurcate it, that there are 5 tattva, 5 elements. Our body is made up of 5 elements: air, water, ether, space, everything, which are in your body also. You have 5 elements which are fire, air, water, space and earth. 5 elements. Okay, so if we are talking about rituals, so when you are doing puja, when you are lighting a lamp, that is fire element. You are offering water, that is water element. You are offering prasad, that is earth element, right? You are doing chanting, that is space element. You are speaking or chanting, that is air element. And you are हम लोग घंटी बजाते हैं when we do bhoga and everything, that is space element. So हो गए ना पांचों element. So basically it is to balance our tattva, it is to balance our body. So when you do something, when you do bhog, when you do offer water and drink that water, it balances your tattva inside your body. Your body is made up of 70% water, right? So water is something which is very important when you offer it to anybody. So आप देखेंगे इसीलिए सूर्य अर्घ का बहुत ज़्यादा महत्व है. In Sanatan Dharma, everybody used to start their day with, offering water to Surya, because sun is fire element, and then you're offering water, which is balancing your fire, igniting your fire, and balancing your water level. ठीक है. So I think rituals are, every rituals, be it in any festival, it is designed and it revolves around these 5 tattvas, and to balance your body and the nature around it. So there's nothing called कि being superstitious कि हाँ logic कहाँ है इसके पीछे. Everything has a logic, but you just have to deep dive it. So whenever you are doing puja also, I would suggest कि include these 5 elements, and that is it. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है that there's a certain rule book to it. आप किसी भी रूल बुक में भी, किसी भी कथावाचक में भी सुनोगे तो आई थिंक एवरीथिंग रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड दीज थिंग्स ओनली, these 5 elements. So I think
Panchabhutas,
yes,
which
Panchabhuta. We termed it as Panchabhuta and 5 elements. So you have to be aware that if you're not missing one element, then you can think कि हाँ this puja is adhuri or something. But I think we pretty much cover it when we do puja basically in our daily life also. So I think that will be it. Yeah.
So when you said festivals, right? First, I'll go deeper on what is festival and how to do it. You can explain it, and then we'll go to certain festivals, because I have very much curiosity amongst each festival, and we people are also made fun of that. We have so many festivals, and I'm very happy. I am If you make fun of it, I'm fine with that. But we do have many festivals which actually every season has change. Every season has a change. Literally every month of our 12 months, Chaitra, Vaishakha, we have a change, and that's why we celebrate festivals. So what is a festival all about? Why did we have these festivals?
So I think festival is all about celebrating life. I would say it is not about celebrating a particular god. I would not say it is about celebrating a particular religion or sampradaya or a community. I think it's about celebrating life, because in festivals, around festivals, why do people become happy? We become happy, right, with no reason, because it's a festival. So I think it is a way of celebrating life, and our rishi munis and our ancestors, our forefathers, have been really, really, smart, I would say, that they have designed our life, our culture in such a way that actually gives us the liberty to explore so many things, right? So again, it again revolves around your well-being. So what happens in festivals? We do puja, which is again related to Panchabhuta, well-being of your body. Second, we do fasting. It is well-being of your body. So if we take Ekadashis and Triyodashis, or any festival or any tithi for that matter, why do we fast? Because the astronomical placement of the earth, of moon, is in such a way that your body ka jo water level it increases. So when you fast on certain days, especially on Ekadashi, so it gets adjusted, that you are able to function more with more energy. So it is more scientific than, being more religious, if I would say that. So you have to understand the deep analysis behind it. So festivals are around that. Like if we talk about Navratri, uh, every season's change, like you mentioned. So there are 4 Navratris in a year. So 2 Gupta Navratris, one Chaitra Navratri, one Shardya Navratri. So Chaitra and Shardya itself explains कि हाँ month is getting changed and something is coming. So there are 4 seasons. So with before just before every season there's a Navratri and 9 days fast and people do worship. So your body gets adjusted better to actually go through that next season in a better way. So basically those festivals, those days are preparing you for the season. सो इट्स नॉट एनी थिंग कि आपको पूजा पाठ करना है या बहुत ज़्यादा अपने आप को पुश करना है. इट इज़ मोर अबाउट हाउ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग योर बॉडी टू लिव अ मोर सस्टेनेबल लाइफ.
And rishis were actually helping us to understand holistically.
होलिस्टिकली एग्जैक्टली कि हाउ टू लिव होलिस्टिकली, बिकॉज पहले तो डॉक्टर ये सब चीज़ें होती नहीं थी, एक्सपेंसिव ट्रीटमेंट्स. सो फूड वॉज ट्रीटेड एज मेडिसिन. So how you are inculcating food in your body, at what time you are eating, how you are eating, what matlab with what foods you are eating, which is Ayurveda. So these are the things which are inculcating inculcated in our culture to live our life better and longer. Why they lived longer?
Yes.
100, 200, even I think in Satyuga they used to live 1,000 years old, but I'm not going on that. But in our Kal Yuga only, people used to live 100, 200 easily, 150 easily. So how they are living a good life like that? Because they are treating food and their rituals, the habits as a spiritual life, as a disciplined way of living, not in a very ritualistic manner, which are being forced कि हाँ आपको पूजा करनी है. They used to do mantra jap for the shuddhi of the mind and body, not to achieve anything basically. वो हो जाता है when you are actually detoxified inside and pure inside, तो आप achieve कर सकते हो. That is a power that ignites the power to achieve anything inside you.
Beautiful. So let me go into one of the festival, Sankranti or Gudi Padwa, or like many across the country we celebrate that in different names. So if you can explain the
Yes, so Sakranti is also called as Pongal, Lohri, Baisakhi in different parts of parts of India or the world, you can say. So one most interesting thing happens on Sakranti is Uttarayan. So if you know Bhishma Pitama's story from Mahabharata, so he waited on that arrow bed for so many days, like 15 60 50 60 days he waited. I think 51 days to be very precise. He waited to be to release his soul from the body on the date of Uttarayan. So there's a saying in Bhagavad Gita is also written and in our scriptures that if you actually die or leave your body during Uttarayan period, this is a 6-month period. So the Uttarayan period, so you actually directly go to moksha and you go to Vaikuntha Dham and you attain moksha. So that is a beautiful thing which he practiced during Mahabharata. And this is a new starting of the placing of the sun changes basically. Astronomically भी अगर हम जाए, क्योंकि आजकल most of the people are interested in astrology कि क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं. So astronomically भी जाएँ तो this is a very good period to start your good deeds. इसीलिए बैसाखी एंड संक्रांति वी फॉलो कि नई चीज़ें लाते हैं हम, वी ब्रिंग इन न्यू थिंग्स. सो इट इज़ अ न्यू बिगनिंग ऑफ एवरीथिंग बिकॉज सन इज एट द पीक.
okay.
Okay, so this actually expressive because sun is fire and fire element सबसे ज़्यादा strong होता है, which actually signifies power, passion and fire to do anything basically. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए हम सारी नई चीज़ें करते हैं, नई चीज़ें होती हैं. तो एंड और इसमें आप देखोगे ना कि आप लोग मीठा बहुत ज़्यादा चढ़ाते हैं या मीठा बहुत ज़्यादा खाते हैं. अगेन कमिंग टू रिचुअल्स, वाई इट हैज़ बीन प्रैक्टिस कि गुड़ का भोग लगा रहे हैं हम, घेवर का भोग लगा रहे हैं. और गुड़ लोहरी भी उसी टाइम अराउंड बनती है. हम गुड़ बहुत खाते हैं, गुड़ चने, गुड़ खील, ये सब बहुत बनते हैं. सो वाई? बिकॉज वो ठंड का टाइम होता है. एंड in winters you should eat good a lot because it is good for the body, if we say the Ayurvedic perspective. So point is ki when festival comes na, to everything combines. Again it is well-being of your body according to dharma. So what Sanatan promotes is the well-being of your body and it is a lifestyle. So how you are leading a life. So again you are celebrating new things coming into your life and bringing new things, new beginnings. जैसे न्यू ईयर रेजोल्यूशंस लेते हैं तो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि उत्तरायण के रेजोल्यूशंस लेने चाहिए कि हाँ चलो 6 महीने रज के काम करेंगे. सो लाइक दैट देयर आर दिस इज़ द पीरियड ऑफ न्यू बिगिनिंग्स. एंड बेसिकली आई थिंक उसी टाइम इस बार कुंभ भी स्टार्ट हो रहा है. सो वाई द प्लेसिंग हैज़ बिन डन इन सच अ वे कि उसी टाइम हो रहा है सब, बिकॉज इट इज़ द बिगिनिंग ऑफ एवरी थिंग. एस्ट्रोनॉमिकली प्लेसिंग भी ऐसी होती है एंड मीठा भी इसीलिए ज़्यादा खाया जाता है बिकॉज इट्स गुड फॉर बॉडी.
So जैसे आपने कुंभ बोला है, so lot of people have this allegations, if I should call allegations, that इतने लोग मिलते हैं तो क्या भी हो सकता है, बैक्टीरिया हो सकता है. एंड आई हैव नॉट हर्ड any time till now. इतने कुंभ मेला मैंने देखा है. Probably I would have seen at least heard about 4 or 5 of them. None of the pandemic happened because of that, right? And so I would like you to explain what is Kumbh Mela all about and how does that happen and when does it happen?
Okay, so I would start with explaining what is kumbh. Kumbh means vessel. Okay, so Kumbh actually literally means vessel. So from where Kumbh came. So first of all, I'll tell you ki it happens in every 12 years. Why it is happening in on 12 years only? Because हमारे जो नवग्रह के जो सबसे गुरु planet है, he is बृहस्पति. Okay, so he completes one round in every 12 years. Okay, so that is the placing of 12 years. And why 12 number is so important? Because when you actually मतलब आप उसको plus करोगे 2 plus 1, that is 3, that is the number of Brahspati.
Yeah, Guru.
Okay, again. And from where Kumbh came, it came from समुद्र मंथन. Like from the beginning of the time कहा जाता है कि सनातन धर्म की स्थापना ही समुद्र मंथन से हुई थी, right? तो समुद्र मंथन is the beginning of everything and anything. तो जब समुद्र मंथन हो रहा था, तो उसमें से बहुत सारी चीज़ें निकली थी, चंद्रमा, रत्न, माँ लक्ष्मी, इनफैक्ट कौंच जो शंख हम बजाते हैं, सब कुछ उसी में से निकला है, कामधेनु, एंड उसमें से धन्वंतरी भगवान आयुर्वेदा के भगवान माने जाते हैं, उसकी ज्ञान लेके वो निकले. एंड जब उसमें से विष निकला जो शिवजी ने पिया, फिर निकला अमृत, उसको एक कुंभ यानी वेसल में रखा गया. एंड जो राक्षस हैं, असुराज एंड देवता स्टार्टेड फाइटिंग फॉर इट, एंड दैट फाइट वेंट फॉर 12 लॉन्ग डेज. Okay. When it was, I think they were fighting for 12 years, I guess. So that number is actually not, I'm sure about. So it went for 12, particularly number of days or years. Then some of the drops from that vessel actually fell 4 places on earth. And that was Prayagraj, Nasik, Haridwar, and Ujjain. So in these 4 places only Kumbh is being organized. Because basically बोला जाता है कि अमृत है उस जगह पे.
Wow.
Okay, so drops fell on these 4 places. तो इन्हीं चारों जगहों पे आप देखेंगे कि कुंभ होता है. इस बार प्रयागराज में हो रहा है कुंभ. So and कुंभ का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? I would like to tell कि इस कुंभ का सिग्निफिकेंस है कि हमें गंगा, जमुना, सरस्वती में we have to take a bath to dip in the holy water, so हमारे सारे पाप धुल जाए. But there's a certain ritual to it. मतलब people just go there and आपको उधर डिप लगा के आ जाते हैं. But I would suggest कि whenever you are going there to purify your mind and body, it is also important why mantra jap and mantra chanting holds such a powerful things. When we say कि vibration, because when you chant mantras, so there are some connotations and vibrations to those mantras, right? That actually ignites your chakras in your body and every vessel. So when we chant Hanuman Chalisa, why we feel so powerful, our heartbeat starts increasing. When we hear Achyutam Keshavam, we feel so soothing, our heartbeats gets rhythmic. So there are certain rules to it. So whenever you are visiting Kumbh, after taking a dip in the holy water, it is always important that you are sitting by there, by the tat, or after taking the dip, you are completely purified, right? So what is the first thing you should do? You should chant some mantras to absorb that energy. वो अमृत को आप absorb कैसे करोगे? To absorb that amrit, you have to chant and absorb it in your blood vessels, in your nerves and everything. Makes logic, right?
Yeah, completely.
So you should never rush ki dip leke, you're just chalo abhi khana kya hai. So you should always chant some mantras in whatever God you believe in. I would not suggest कि आप इसका मंत्र chant करो, उनका मंत्र chant करो. It is on your belief system कि आपको किन से power मिलती है. If Hanuman ji gives you power, if Shiv ji gives you power, if Mata Shakti gives you power, if Krishna gives you power, chant any mantra. But you should be chanting some mantras and take some sankalpas when you are doing that. Because it is like a new beginning. It sets 12 years of your life straight.
Wow.
Because next you never know, because लोगों की पूरी जिंदगी निकल जाती है तब भी वो डिप नहीं लगा पाते. So it happens only once in a lifetime. So you are cleansing everything which you did in Kali Yuga, every sin, every punya. So you should be able to absorb that energy, no? So you should not waste it. So I think this is the pure significance of Kumbh. And again, coming to the pandemic, I think it's all about energy. So when you go to, why do you feel good when you meet positive people? You feel good when you meet some negative people who is crying in front of you. You feel so drained out. So when you go to these kind of melas and kumbh, the energy is so high. People have one mindset that they have come to take holy dip in the holy water, and they have gathered there for one intention. Everybody have one intention. So how can something go wrong? I mean, it is just the energy you are, exchanging.
Very, very beautifully said.
It's all about energy. So you cannot, if you think something is going to get bad, it will go bad.
Yeah, but you beautifully put it. If 100 crore people in India are feeling it good, then nothing can go wrong about it.
Definitely, because everybody have the same intention, same mindset.
So coming back to your journey into sound healing. Now I heard you telling about sound therapy, which you did a certification and all. How did it all start? What excited you to get into this sound therapy?
See, point is, I have always been very curious all my life. You can call me a nerd that I have to get to the roots of something. If you're telling me something कि ये क्यों हो रहा है, I have that, sense of, curiosity inside me. वो बच्चा मेरे अंदर का कभी शांत नहीं बैठता. Right. So I think that only, makes me or made me explore so many things in my life. And I think I'll be doing the same in future as well. But the what curiosity was that if why you feel like to dance when you hear certain kind of music. If you hear bhangra, आपके पैर और हाथ automatically it starts, moving. When you hear a certain kind of soothing sa bhajan, you feel like just relaxing. When you feel hear some kind of sad music, you feel like crying. It takes you to your traumatic experiences and sad experiences. Why it is happening?
Some frequency.
हाँ, some frequency.
कुछ तो होगा.
Yes. So, and I think as a youth, nobody can understand it better that we treat music as therapy.
Oh yeah, I see my daughter.
Exactly. So without music, nothing can,
Nothing.
we can't do anything. सुबह उठते हैं तो म्यूजिक, सोते हैं तो म्यूजिक, चाहे वो कैसा भी म्यूजिक हो. But people have, and people have, I think, changed the connotation कि बड़े लोगों के लिए भी भजन is music only.
Yeah.
हम जो हमारे दादी बाबा या मम्मी पापा के लोग, हम पहले उनको ऐसे बोलते थे क्या आप सारे दिन ही चलाते रहते हो ये वो, बट इट्स गिव देम सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ सेटिस्फैक्शन. तो व्हाई इट इज हैपनिंग, देयर इज अ रीजन बिहाइंड इट. वन इज फ्रीक्वेंसी, देयर आर सर्टेन डिफरेंट फ्रीक्वेंसीज. सो आई वुड गो टू द रूट ऑफ इट अगेन. So there's a saying called Tatse Vachak Pranava, which says that Om is the sound of God. Okay, so that is the saying which itself says, ये पतंजलि योग सूत्र से आया, उसमें he has explained, पतंजलि जी, कि it has been explained like कि जो आपका गॉड का सृजन हुआ है, जो हमारे भगवान को हम पूछते हैं, हर चीज़ का सृजन इज़ द साउंड ऑफ ओम. इज़ द सृजन, मतलब जो सृजन ही हुआ है वो साउंड से ही हुआ है. सो जो आपका रूट ही है वो साउंड है. एंड आई थिंक साइंटिफिकली भी इट हैज़ बीन प्रूवन दैट जो स्पेस, व्हेन यू गो टू स्पेस, द वन साउंड यू हियर, इट इज़ द साउंड ऑफ ओम. It is the vibration of Om. When you actually sit quietly, close your eyes, the sound, the silence around you, it is the sound of the rhythm of Om. So 432 hertz, the frequency, it is the universe's sound, which is the sound of Om, we say. Okay, so sound healing, अब साउंड हीलिंग को हम बाइफिकेट करते हैं अगर, तो ये शब्द आया है नाद से. इफ़ वी बाइफिकेट इज इन संस्कृत वी कॉल इट नाद, जो शंख नाद भी हम बोलते हैं, नाद, राइट. सो नाद को इफ़ वी बाइफिकेट, इट इज़ न और द, विच इज़ नकार एंड डकार अगेन. Okay, so again I'm bringing it to your body. How? I'll tell you. So naad, nakar and dakar. Nakar is your consciousness. Dakar is the power. Okay, and consciousness is what? Shiv, and power is what? Shakti. So again it is coming to your body, that consciousness, this is life force basically, and it actually runs your life. जो हम बोलते हैं हमारे प्राण शक्ति. So हमारी बॉडी में, so we know, everybody knows nowadays, I think, blessing of social media, one is that you get a lot of knowledge if you want to gain it. So one is that everybody knows that you have two sides in your body. One is feminine and one is masculine, that is Shiva and Shakti. And again we have to divide it into 7 chakras which are placed in your body. वैसे हमारी body में 100 plus 144 chakras होते हैं.
I know, yeah, but the prominent are around
Prominent are 7 major chakras, which are from top of your head and from the till the bottom of your spine, which actually आपकी पूरी body का संचालन करते हैं. अब I'll tell you a very interesting fact how sound and religion and God and Sanatan is related. Okay, so whenever we worship anything, do anything good, we worship Ganesh ji, right? Because he is the Vigna Harta, he removes everything obstacles. And our Kundalini Shakti, our jo sound therapy, it starts from bottom to top, because Kundalini coil is placed in the bottom of your spine, and it goes up to your Shastra chakra for the enlightenment. And Ganesh ji is placed, he is the god of Muladhara chakra, inside your body, just the top, like beginning of the starting of Kundalini Shakti. And when you actually worship worshipping Ganesh ji, again I'm combining the rituals and the god and sound healing. When you are actually worshipping Ganesh ji and worshipping him, you're actually removing the obstacles of your body as well, because you are actually indirectly worshipping your Muladhara chakra, and you're cleansing it by chanting and worshipping Ganesh ji. And then comes the Ma, Yoni. Okay, so that is how every god has their particular placing in your body. And I'll tell you one more interesting fact. Hanumanji, like you can see that there's a vibration in the universe now. Hanumanji is Bhakt, Ram Bhakt. It has been, people are actually more inclined toward Hanumanji and Ramji these days, post Ram Mandir especially. Yeah, so it is in the universe. So let's talk about Hanumanji, that he is the god of fear. Whenever you say कि I'm getting scared, क्या बोलते हैं, हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ लो, हनुमान जी को वर्शिप कर लो, it will be okay. Okay, it is very interesting. I loved this. So what happens is, he's a god of fear, and there's a chakra placed in your navel, which we call Manipura chakra or solar plexus chakra, right? So how I'm connecting कि people who say कि ये chakra वक्रा कुछ नहीं होता, how I'm placing it कि हाँ, there is some connection. So why you get butterflies in your stomach whenever you are anxious, you get scared, there are butterflies you are excited, there are always butterflies in the stomach. So that means your emotions are traveling from here, right? So there are gudgudi here. So he is the god of fear, and जो Manipura chakra hai, it governs your fear and confidence.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
one thing, we have stated that fact. And Hanumanji is placed here, and the mantra for Manipura chakra is Ram. Why he chants Ram?
Right.
So he has been chanting Ram Jap. He chanted Ram Jap, like he's still on earth. He's still walking.
He'll still be chanting it, yeah.
He's still be chanting. So imagine the power of word Ram or mantra Ram, that it has made him the god of fear. He has overcome that.
Correct.
So when we talk about कि you overcome that, your chakra, आजकल people are talking about कि मेरा तो chakra activate हो गया. It is not easy. हनुमान जी का activated है, that is why he is the god of fear.
Yeah.
हमारा नहीं है.
Right.
And it is very difficult. So people should focus on, if you are living in a materialistic world, you should live as that. So chanting Ram would actually give you power, some confidence, and release your fears. But chakra activate karna is a whole different topic.
Yeah, completely.
So now you are able to connect.
Yeah, totally.
Hanumanji is the fear of God, and he's chanting Ram, that he has been termed as the god of fear, like to overcome fear. And he is chanting the Naam Ram, and it is the Bij mantra for Manipura chakra.
Excellent.
So everything is connected. Your rituals, sound, and what you say, the Sanatan.
Beautiful. I think it's Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram,
I
yes.
think it's wonderful to connect all of them. So sound therapy. You beautifully explained the sound connection with the Sanatana Dharma. Do you practice healing somebody, healing people?
Yes, I do regular workshops and sessions for people. So it depends. See, sound therapy is something I would like to start with. Why do there are problems in your body? Everything is on psychosomatic level. Not 99%, but 100% are your diseases and illness are here. Okay, it's energy based. So why we, I mean, it's all about why we say कि हम क्या बोलते हैं, किसी बीमार से मिलेंगे तो बीमार हो जाएंगे. It's infection definitely, but it functions your mind like that कि मैं वहाँ गया था. Your subconscious mind and your conscious mind start capturing those events कि why do you not feel good in hospitals, certain reason, and whenever you come from there you feel low and your body gets exhausted, and many people suddenly get ill कि मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा तो बीमार हो जाऊँगा. So it is all about, that is why we practice law of attraction, power of your power of your thoughts, power of your thinking. So your body have the power to heal anything and everything, to be very honest. If you get a cut, if you don't put medicine, it will get healed, but it will take some time, but it will heal, right? But what we do कि हम दवाई लगाएंगे तो जल्दी ठीक हो जाएगा, we take precautions, which is also not wrong, but we have to understand that we have to raise our awareness, our Shakti power, Shakti Kriya so much that we are able to heal our problems within ourselves. So, why problems happen? Again, coming to vibrations, because we have established that everything is related to vibration in this universe, right? So, this body, this earth, everything is revolving. Nothing is stagnant, right? Everything is vibrating at a certain frequency and revolving continuously as we are speaking right now, right? So if our body gets disturbed, we our frequency is not matching with the universe's frequency. Again, the ritu, we are not balancing our body well, not balancing our lifestyle well, so our frequencies get disturbed. That is why we get illness in your body. सो दिस इज़ द लॉजिकल पार्ट दैट वी हैव एस्टैब्लिश्ड कि अगर आप ठीक से खाओगे नहीं, आपकी बॉडी की फ्रीक्वेंसी, द ब्लड सर्कुलेशन इज़ नॉट हैपनिंग एट अ रिदम, राइट, द हार्ट बीट इज़ नॉट बीटिंग एज इट शुड बीट इन अ रिदम. सो आपकी बॉडी की फ्रीक्वेंसी हुई ना हैम्पर्ड, so problems to आएंगी. So that is why you are getting disease in your body. So sound therapy can heal everything and anything, every disease in your body. Why? Because there are certain instruments, different bowls. So we have different chakra bowls for each chakra.
Wow.
Okay, which are tapped and made into a certain frequency, which are hand beaten, and which are made on a by chanting a certain kind of mantra on a certain frequency. So if I'm talking about 432 hertz, so it has been beaten, hand beaten on a 432 hertz frequency to made that bowl.
Wow.
So if I play that bowl, so the frequency is coming from that bowl is 432 hertz.
Beautiful.
So that is actually matching with your frequency and correcting your frequency. So the bowls are being placed on your body and they are being played on certain frequencies and with certain techniques to heal your body according to the disease you are facing. So suppose I am facing emotional and anxiety problems, which everybody is facing nowadays, right? So why we are facing it? Because people are not understanding. They are trying to heal their mind, but little do they know that our feelings are being stored in Mooladhar and sacral chakra, Swadhisthana chakra, right? Your lower chakras. Okay, so that is why you see with tension, anxiety, women nowadays have PCOS and PCOD problem, which are lower body issues.
Yes.
Right? And men, due to the suppression and everything, they have more cases of diabetes.
Yes.
Right? Why? Because wahi pe everything is getting stored, the energy, the frequency is not vibrating at a normal pace. That is why you are getting problems in that region. Right? So these are actually, by these things you can understand ki if I store energy, if I have anxiety and depression, it is not only going to hamper my mind but my body in a different way. आजकल आप देखो 30-35 उम्र में ही people have uterus problems, women, men have, UTIs, everybody. I mean, why? Because the tension is more, anxiety is more, and emotions are stored there. So that is why, when we do asanas in yoga, also when we practice asanas, lower body asanas, so people tend to cry because they are releasing trauma. Why your lower body stiff? If your lower body is stiff, you can know that there are some trauma, you have to deal with it. As a human being, we have the conditioning to suppress it or to ignore it.
Okay.
We don't deal with it, which is wrong again. So we have to get through it. We have to heal through the process, not to ignore it. Because if you're suppressing any emotion, fear ka emotion is also, if you're suppressing, so you'll get digestive issues,
Yes.
constipation,
Correct.
right? So if we are suppressing any issues, so it will hamper you, not now, maybe in year, 2 year, 3 years, because you have been accumulating that energy a lot in your body. सो इसीलिए बच्चों को भी व्हेन देयर आर स्मॉल किड्स, अब छोटे छोटे बच्चों को डायबिटीज़ और इश्यूज होते हैं, तो बच्चों को कभी भी डरा के नहीं रखना चाहिए. जो डराने वाली कंडीशनिंग होती है ना कि ये मत करो, ये हो जाएगा, सो अगर हम वो फियर फैक्टर उनका बढ़ा रहे हैं, तो दैट इज़ अ फियर गेटिंग अक्यूमुलेटेड इन देयर स्टमक एरिया. इसलिए बच्चों को डाइजेस्टिव इश्यूज, लैक्टोस इंटॉलरेंट, एलर्जी इश्यूज हो रहे हैं. So everything you see is on the psychosomatic level, on vibrational level. So everything revolves around your emotions, how you deal with it.
Excellent. So, can you just share us one experience? You don't have to name the person, but what kind of things which you healed and what was the experience, if you can share us?
Okay, so I mean, there's this one person who had major anger issues. He's a bit aged. He had, anger issues and everything, and he was being very restless. And he has achieved great things in his life and everything. So one session, when I did with him, I did multiple sessions with him. So it is not that you'll get healed in one session. First of all, it will take time. If you have lived a life for 30 years or for 40, 60 years, you cannot heal that thing in one day or one session. So it will take a series of sessions to correct, because first we have to cleanse the energy and everything. So he had anger issues and everything. So why he had anger issues, when I was doing his session and everything, so after session people tend to cry a lot in my sessions, because major sabka, I told you na ki everything is related to emotion, because they suppress fear, they suppress anxiety, they suppress responsibility, everything and anything. So he had responsibility का suppression. Okay, so उनका जो मणिपुरा चक्रा है, that was hampered. उनका जो हार्ट चक्रा है, which was blocked, right? That is why anger आ रहा था उनको बहुत ज़्यादा. He was not able to attach with anybody emotionally, right? So he had those issues, and उनको diabetes भी थी.
जैसा आप बोल रहे हो, मेरे को मेरी कहानी सुनाई दे रही है.
I mean, I think
So most of them have this part.
most of the
Diabetes is
people,
common,
anger is common. I think with everybody of your age, and because since the way you have lived a life, तब इतने options, everything कुछ भी नहीं होता था. You literally made a life, a living out of nothing. Right? So you had that, responsibility का burden and everything. तो वो suppression आया. So वो suppression की वजह से, that is why people of your age are suffering from lot of, digestive area issues.
Exactly.
So because fear, confidence come from there. And women of your age, of 40s or 50s age, why they also experience the same things? Because उनको घर पे suppression होता है.
I agree. Yeah,
They're
completely.
housewives being suppressed with in-laws and everything.
Yeah.
Not everybody is blessed with everything. So yeah, I mean, अगर सब भी blessed है, तो responsibility घर की.
Yeah, definitely. Our generation has gone through a lot.
Exactly. So that is what I'm trying to say, कि he was going through the same thing. So when I actually trying to, we did multiple session, he cried so much. He cried so much, and after the session, he felt so light, and he was telling me, he was thanking me again and again. And I did multiple sessions. Then only we reached that level. So in one session, his body was vibrating. because your certain frequencies got altered. And in one session he was in a deep state. So you will have different experiences in every session. You will not have the same experience in any session. And in fact, if there are 15 people in my room, every person of them will have a different experience, because every body have different vibration. You are not thinking the same way which I think, right? So you have different vibrations. So there was this, I did a group session, there was this boy who was waking again and again with shock in my session. And then after the session, when I was consulting him, he had the fear to go in deep state.
Oh, he was stopping it.
He was stopping it. So he was suppressing it.
Yeah.
Again, where he should not be suppressing it.
Right.
So people get scared also.
Right.
There are different kind of experiences, because he was like कि मेरे को डर लग रहा था, because one session उससे पहले ही एक session में, that was the second session. So first session में he literally started shouting in during the session. He was not in his sane mind. He was half asleep and he was shouting. So he got scared that he'll do the same. So he was stopping himself to go in the deep state. So that is what we do in life. That what will people think? What if they'll judge me and judge us? So that is why we stop ourselves from doing anything, and that brings problems in your body. So the core conclusion is, you should not stop you from expressing. Basically, expressing your emotion is the key to a healthy life.
So I'll start so this is rapid fire round. Since most of the discussions we have given you an out way, but these questions we have not shared with you. So we expect a single answer. And if you're not able to answer, you can say pass, because in Sanatana Dharma, we believe in freedom.
Yes,
You
totally.
can say, no, I don't want to say, or pass. That's okay, completely fine with us. So crystals or sound bowls?